Today we're talking about one of the most recognizable modulations in the category of modulation. We're talking about phaser. I'm Nathan from the Worship Journal Guitarist Edition and Worship Calling. We got ourselves a Toastmaster Tuesday on a Wednesday because that's when YouTube told me you make every strum count. And that's what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about phaser. So if you haven't been following along, make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss any of this. We've just been going through all the modulation. Kind of a quick recap. We've got three different types of modulation. We've got pitch modulation, which is where your chorus and your vibrato comes from. We've got time modulation, which is flanger, phaser, those kinds of things. And then amplitude, which is, volume. That's going to be your tremolo, those kinds of things. We just finished out last week looking at chorus, so we're moving out of the pitch modulation and going into time modulation, and that's why we are looking at the flanger. Now, what flanger is essentially doing is it's essentially delaying a very small amount. There's a delay in your signal, and then it's modulating that delay time, obviously using an LFO, a low frequency oscillator. And so what's happening is you still have your dry signal. So it's kind of like, like when we were looking at the chorus last week, how you have a dry signal and then the modulated signal, and the way those two interact kind of creates that effect. Very similar. The flanger does the same thing. We have the dry signal. That dry signal is being just slightly delayed and modulated. And what's happening, the time of that delay is what's being modulated. And so what's happening is it's actually creating a comb filter of those frequencies, across those peaks and notches in that whole frequency spectrum. And so that's what gives flanger its signature kind of swooshing sound. Right, is that comb filtering that is happening when we're slightly delaying that signal. We still have the dry signal, the slightly delayed, and then the time is being modulated. It's being changed in using that LFO. So that's what gives that flanger that flanger sound that everybody knows, right? So we're going to have things like rate, depth, color. Color is kind of like this on the Electric Mistress, which is what this is modeled after, the Electro Harmonics Electric Mistress. Right now, this is my favorite flanger, and I'm going to be honest with you right up front. I'm not a huge fan of flanger. I don't like it outside of the context of ambient. I'm not a big fan of that sound. Even with, I've been calling them these micro movements. If we look, my rate is so low because I'm using a tap divide of a dotted half note. And so my rate is super low. My depth is super low. I barely got any color on, so there's not this huge intensity. The depth is really low. I'm trying to create these micro movements in my signal path, but even with it set in this, micro movement, it's just I don't like it. But what I do like is I love it in the context of my ambient. If you listen to it with the ambient going, I think that micro movement of the flanger really adds to my ambient there. I think it sounds really, really awesome in the context of ambient. I don't like it without the ambient, but that's just me. The flanger, I did end up kind of going traditional. I've got it after my amp, after my always on spring reverb. I got just a little bit of reverb on that, on my path there that's always on. I've got it after all of that. I tried it before to try to do kind of like I did with the chorus and the vibrato, just kind of let that amp and the mythic naturally compress that. It's not horrible. It's just not. I don't really like it. I don't like it there. Even with the ambient, I didn't like it before the amp. I actually like hearing a little bit more of the flanger. Kind of cuts through a little bit more when it's at the end here because it's not getting compressed, right? And I think it sounds really good in that ambient. That comb filtering is such a strange effect. We can even turn the color up a little bit, add a little more intensity. But I like it kind of low. Again, I like these micro movements. That's what I've been doing with all of this modulation, is just kind of creating micro movements that I feel like are adding to my tone. They're not overshadowing it. It doesn't sound obnoxious, which has been my goal. So yeah, that's where I landed. I kind of like it. I really like it with the ambient. And I tried it down in just the ambient path, but I like a little bit of that still going across that path A that's not going into my ambient reverbs. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. Keep playing with it. I'm liking it with the ambient. I think it sounds good. So yeah, if you have not subscribed, please do so. We're going to keep going down, looking at all the modulations, just having fun, seeing how we can make them work. Like I said from the very top of this video series, I don't like modulation. I'm kind of just forcing myself to listen to these modulation effects with fresh ears, fresh set of eyes, and not coming in with my preconceived notions. And how could I make these work? And I feel like these micro movements are key in the tone that I like. So with that, make every strum count, and I'll see you guys next time.